lecture here today, I'm going to take just a second to take care of my computer so I can see your comments. Thank you for being here. Don't go anywhere. There. And this happens over here on my computer over here. So. I didn't think I could make it on time today. I was at the eye doctor over in a little town south of here called Wesley Chapel. Hey PJ, how you doing, girl? But today we're going to be doing something that I've taught in a couple of classes before, but it's always good to go over it this time of year whenever we're looking for nice gifts to give to somebody, and that is acid etching. So, I don't know whether you caught it or not, but my name is Marty Whitney, and I teach a class called ARTitude Adjustment. I teach fun art, not fine art, and I'm echoing. Let me see what's going on here. It might be because I'm in the activities room. Is it a real pronounced echo? I'm looking at it could be because of where I'm located right now in the activities room. Yes, remember, I'm not too good with microphones. You're going to find out that this is going to be a lot better. You got to wear it if you're going to have a microphone. You got to put it on right. I'm trying to turn it around so I can. Oops, not a good place. Is that better? I think that would be better. But anyway, I looked for a couple of things that I thought would be fun to start on. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you. Remember Friday whenever we were here? Actually, I was out at the lake Friday. Okay, I thought it was. I brought my spray paint, but I didn't bring my project. That's just the way it is. Yes, it is. I think yes, it is means it's better. So anyway, I want to show you what. Let me see if I can move everything out of the way that's detrimental to this. You crack me up. Okay. It was almost impossible to get to. Okay. But I'm going to change this to another camera so you can see this is the end result of the dough bowl that I made. Now, I would do this project again. But I'd have to be in some place where I would be able to leave it overnight and let it dry, because I don't know whether it would help if I use spackling, because I'm not a construction person, but it might help it dry faster. I just wouldn't want any cracking in it. And then I just painted it, and then afterward I put a matte finish on here, and that just protects it and it protects you. It doesn't make it food grade, but you could use it on a stand, or you could put a picture hanger on this and place it on the wall. Just for display, that's all it is a decor piece. Now, I noticed on some of this, if you're looking for some of these dough bowls, this really, I don't like it, but it adds to it, and that is a split. I don't know whether you can see, yeah, you can see right here the wood split. I don't know whether they did it whenever it was green. I've noticed it on a couple of the bowls that we did, and I told them that, well, some of them I saw after it was done, but I would replace these if they had a problem with it. So it just happens sometimes. Hey Maureen, glad you're here today. I know y'all are probably glad to get back to a routine like me, and it would be nice if every day were Thanksgiving and I could eat that much turkey but and not gain weight, but that isn't going to happen. There are a couple of supplies that you need whenever you're working with acid etching. I use a product called Armor Etch, and this is glass etching cream. I've never used it on anything else, and this particular one, I don't have the price on it, but they're pretty pricey, but they last forever. I've used this one for a couple of years, I would imagine, and what you also need are some gloves to work with it, because it is etching with acid. Now, not everything will etch. I'm going to put this on my dominant. Well, I better put both of them on here, because it will burn you if you get it on your hands. So you want to be careful not to do that. And it's a real easy cleanup. Let's see, where are my fingers? I've already etched something on here I wanted to show you. I cut out a stencil with my initials on it a couple of years ago, and everybody in the class was able to put up their initials on the bowl, on their pyrex dish. I'm going to put something on there today, though, if I can get it to fit. I also have some little tools that I'll use to apply the etching cream. And let me see, I've got some little plastic things in here. Although I don't really need to spend a lot of time scraping and everything. You want your etching cream to be kind of thick on top of the transfer that you're using, and you want it to be cover it very well, or else if there are some spots, it isn't going to do anything. So the one that I chose, I have a couple of these. I'm going to show you the right way to do it, and then I'm going to show you the wrong way to do it too. This ain't working out. I've just got to, this is a chalk couture transfer. I haven't used this one before. I know that probably feels real good in your ear, doesn't it? But I'm going to put me in a little, you know where you put me, in this little pin here. So you can see me while you're working, while I'm working. Okay, now that's on there because it has a sticky back, and I don't need the gloves on yet, but I've got a let's say that I'm going to give this to someone for Christmas, but I'm going to also bake something for them. Or if I take it to a Christmas party, I would have something that definitely identifies that this is my dish, and I want to bring it back. But it says happy, if you can't see it very well, it says happy holidays from our family to yours. So it's a great thing to, hey, who doesn't like to get food for Christmas during the holidays? And this could be something besides cookie and cake. All I'm doing is getting the air out. I'm going to rub in here and make sure I have it all out. I think we're safe. And I'm going to leave this on here. I hear different stories from people about how long they want to leave this on. Well, I've left it on for a long time and it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take the etching cream and I don't know why I shook it up because it's too thick to do anything. And I'm just going to take a popsicle stick and I'll put my gloves back on because that's the way you should do it. I had my little granddaughter on last Wednesday, which was the last day that I had a live, and she was very helpful. Okay, I'm going to start just putting this on here. It only has to go places where you can see the screen. Now, anytime I'm using this because I had it, but any type of stencil is fine. If you find a Christmas one or one for a holiday, New Year's or whatever, use it. It doesn't have to be this. I just had this on hand. And you can see this gives new meaning to the word glop. I'm glopping it. It doesn't have to be anywhere else but on the areas where the screen is. When I grabbed this one out, I wanted to tell you, in the event that you're shopping for these containers, there's different opinions about using different types of glass. For instance, everyone seems to think that pyrex dishes do better with acid etching. This doesn't have any fumes, or I don't detect any. And you don't have to go back over it twice or anything. It's just a simple project to have. And it means so much. Back to what I was saying about different types of glass, though, I've heard that Anchor Hocking is not, which is another glass manufacturer for oven-proof glass, is not as good for acid etching. You know, the chemical makeup of the glass or something. So the preference is usually pyrex. However, I've used Anchor Hocking and had good luck. So I don't know whether it was the type of dish. I get all of mine. I try to get this, is it about a 10 cup dish? Some of you very experienced ladies would know this is, I think it's called 10 cup. I'll look at it in a minute and let you know. But this one has a top on it, and that's so nice to have instead of putting aluminum foil or something else over it. So I'm doing real well on my glopping. I think I'm covering everything, but you never know. I'm going to go back over it and make sure. Sometimes you can hold it up and you'll see a hole, or you'll see an area where you've missed. When I was growing up, on one side of town, and I came from Jacksonville, Florida, there was an anchor hocking plant. So a lot of the men worked at anchor hocking in this area of town. So, I don't know whether that's, okay, now I'm gonna just, I can see some areas, holding it up just like that. It also helps to wear your glasses. Oh, that's much better. I went to the eye doctor this morning and I can see. I'm doing fine, doing well. Oh, and another thing about acid etching, if you get a little, like if you were to get just a little bit on the side, let's say just a little dot, well, it's acid, and it will, if you don't get it off, it's going to leave a smudge. And so I gave away a dish the other day because I couldn't use it. Now I'm covering up some areas that I can see have little questionable areas on them as far as coverage. And I want to make sure everything is covered well, because it isn't going to work if it isn't. You think, well, it'll go over there and cover it. It doesn't. Okay. Now let's see. It is 3:17 according to Eastern Standard Time. I am going to get just a little bit more. I think we got her covered. We're expecting cold weather tomorrow, y'all. That means we'll have probably in the 30s and 40s. So it was my understanding at the doctor's office this morning that they have had lots of calls from people who were not able to get back for appointments because of the weather. Did that affect any of you? Well, there's Al. Hey, Al. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Okay, Al, we're doing acid etching, and I am going to wipe this off, and we're going to wait. Now, I want to show you, though, the next project that we're going to do, just so I'll show you and show myself this particular thing isn't going to work. Now, I have already done this, and see, that was inside the dish. It doesn't matter if you do it inside or outside. Of course, on that particular pyrex dish, you had to do it on the inside. So you're paying it, otherwise the lettering would be backwards. So you don't want that to happen. Oh, you had snow flurries. Well, I want to see pictures of you making a snowman pretty soon then. Let me turn this just so you can see me a little bit better. And I'll turn that up. My most glamorous side, of course, and I'm just kidding. There. Okay, now this is another plate. I don't think anything is going to happen here. I've tried this before, and I've been very excited to say, ooh, this is a beautiful plate. I'm going to put this wreath on here, and now instead of it being just a dull old cake plate, I'm going to make it into, put a wreath on it so it'll have more character. Now, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It isn't going to leave any marks on this if it doesn't work, but there's some glass that works, and I'm not an engineer, so I don't know what the chemical makeup is, but I know pyrex works. And if I were you and you're interested in pursuing this project, then I would get my pyrex, my pyrex at someplace like Bell's Outlet, where you pay about half of what you would pay somewhere else. I'm just going to wipe this out with some alcohol, not the kinds you drink. This is 91% alcohol, and it'll remove any of the, and it does smell. It does remove some of the, excuse me, I just dropped something. I gotta get my paper towel that I was wiping up. I'm gonna need that later. I'll only need to clean this side of the plate right now. This plate has been used before, so I've nothing ventured, nothing gained here. We're just gonna try it. Okay, put my safety gloves back on. Now, I do have some safety glasses, but since I'm wearing these glasses, it'll be sufficient. Of course, I like my other ones because they got rhinestones and they're all decked out. But, hi Diana, nice to see you. Well, Rhonda, hey, I'm so glad you're here today. We're in the middle of etching. I didn't mean to do that though. I've got to put this on here. This is another transfer that I had left over from some chalk couture projects. So I'm going to use this because I have it on hand. And if you just joined, I've already done a pyrex dish. This is not a pyrex plate, but we're going to do it just to use some etching cream. Now I know that this probably will not work, but I don't know. I don't know, it could. I might be surprised, but it isn't going to hurt the dish anyway. And they're really, this is the way you take it off, y'all. There you go. And you want to be careful that your transfer does not fold into itself. That'd be a bad thing. Okay. Let me stand up just a little bit, because I'm gonna, you know me, I'm gonna eyeball it. Hey y'all, it's just a cake plate. I'm gonna eyeball it, but I don't want it to be so far out that people will say, this girl needs to go to centering school. There she goes. That's good. So anyway, we just got back into town yesterday, time enough to participate in a lighting ceremony here, putting the Christmas trees up. And Maureen, I think you missed it. It was a lot of fun. If you were there, you got some homemade cookies. Now, this part of it probably isn't going to matter, but I'm going to push the air out of it if I can. I think that's good noises when you hear the air popping. It means it's going away. So in just a minute, See, I don't really know if it matters that much if I go a little bit over the time, let's say 15 minutes. Some people don't leave it on that long. So what, you know. Now I'm going to just put this on there, and I'm using a popsicle stick and my etching cream, and I'm just this is the globbing method. Anyway, please forgive me all my kind of makeup. What all I do wear has come off, and whenever I went to the doctor this morning, and they did so many things to my eyes, I'm thinking, golly, I must really be, I know it's something really bad and they're not telling me, but it wasn't. It's just, you know, an annual thing. And then Wednesday, another morning, this really interferes with the fun I'm having. I have, let me see, hey Pat, I have yoga on Monday and Wednesday mornings. So when something like this happens, like I said, can I have another appointment? And she said, the doctor isn't here that day on Mondays. Oh, just keep it that way. It's too much trouble. Because if I'd have said, okay, well, how about Wednesday? The doctor isn't here that day either. So everybody following what I'm doing. Now, I will probably, you know, Monday is the day we start our projects. This is, I have an idea of something, this is not going to take all week long. And that's why you like this project for gifts. All you're using is one item and your stencil. I had these transfers on hand, and that's why I'm using them. But you can use any kind of stencil. And guess what? I'm a bad example for y'all to follow. I didn't put my glove back on. Sorry. Don't report me. Do the glass etching committee. Okay, this is going fast though. But like I was saying, isn't this a nice gift to give to someone? If it works out, because this one may not. I've never done it on glass like this. But if it's pyrex, it will. If it is anchor hocking, people say it won't. I've been able to get it to stick. So possibly it depends on what the item is. I usually use a like a tin cup. You can use any size, anything. If I get to where I've just talked so long, hey y'all, we're here now. We're at the end of this. And what I usually do is hold it up to the light just to make sure I don't see any light through the transfer or the stencil. It helps. There's one little piece there. I think we got it covered. Hey Jeannie, glad y'all are here. I'm Marty Whitney with ARTitude Adjustment, and I teach fun art, not fine art. I do see a couple of places right in here. You don't have to be stingy with this. It lasts forever. And mostly those seem to be air holes that I was seeing. just air bubbles, I mean. I believe we got it covered. Now, you will need to, excuse me just a minute while I go wash. I might be able to do it here. I'm going to wash some of it off in a minute. We'll lay that over there so it can be like etching its thing, doing its acid thing. I'm trying to think. I've done monograms using acid etching by making everyone's monogram on a silhouette. There. Just get that started. Take it off. Now, after I take this off, I'm going to wash it off so you see that I'm not just whistling Dixie over here. And you'll also see that if you're not careful and you don't take care of those little bubbles, you have little areas. And I do. I'm going to go wash this off. And when I come back, we're going to have a dish that says, "Happy Holidays from our family to yours." Now, won't they think I'm smart? I'm not. So, let me go wash this off. I'm sorry if that sounded that terrible in your ears. That's what happens when I take off my microphone. And I'm going to take this this transfer over, and I'll get it ready to wash off. I'll be right back. In fact, come back here. I'll just be going over to a sink, and I'll be right back. Make sure I don't carry a computer with me. Now, if you just started looking, I want to show you a couple of things. If there are areas where you have acid that may have, the residue is somewhere, be sure you wipe it off, because I may have gotten some on here while I was, here, let me put this back. I'm going to put this back so you can see it. There. And I'll just wipe this off, because all this is water. And if you just started looking at this, I've done this to this dish before. I might find another spare place. Now, I didn't leave this on there but about more than 15 minutes. There are areas here where there are a few holes I don't know if it would have mattered. I might not have had it covered as well. Let me see if you can see it better with this. I can see it better. Of course you could see it with when it still had acid on it. And all I can do, this will always stay on there. Let me see if that helps you see it a little bit better. This will always stay on there. I can wash it in the dishwasher. It doesn't matter. It's acid etched and it won't come off. It does need to be washed with soap. This is the one that I put my monogram on the end of it for another class. And this one just needs to be washed with some soapy water. And it won't be as vibrant as it was with the white on there, but it will work out. So now this could be the total. We're going to just see about this one. This is not pyrex. I don't expect it to surprise me too much. Let me get something to put this down on. But when I say you can't get this too thick on here. I'm the queen of centering, yeah. No, I'm being real funny there. Hi, Jeannie. Hey, Priscilla. Glad you're here. And we're finishing up an acid etching project. Now, when I rinse this off, it's going to be very light because it hasn't been on there at all very, very long. And I'll rinse this off. So this transfer could be used again. Let me go get, sorry I didn't put my microphone back on. I'm going to go wash the acid off of this, and when I come back, we'll see if it worked at all. Thank y'all for being patient. I'll be right back. Now, I know that you can't see it. Let me wipe some of the water off of this so you can see it better. I know you can't see it very well, but I'm surprised that this did stay on there. It did etch it. It's a really nice design on here. It looks like a wreath. You probably can't see it. It's not very visible. But I can see it, and it's there. Let me put my microphone back on. That surprises me with this cake plate, because I don't think it was pyrex. It's just a cake plate. But if I hold it up, it probably took the acid etching better than the other did. So that surprises me. Anyway, I forgot to tell you something. Let me see. I appreciate all of you being here today. This was fun. I learn something every time I do something. But I really had my doubts about this working. After I bought the plate, I thought, you know, I don't think it's going to work out because it's not pyrex, but it did. So if you wanted to buy some inexpensive glass and try it, it makes a beautiful design on there no matter what you do. So you could try it. I've just been told that if it wasn't pyrex or anchor hocking, that it wasn't going to work out, and I'm trying to show you. You can see it from there. See how the wreath goes? Yeah. So anyway, I'll put and the etching will not come off. It's permanent. So you can put this in the dishwasher if you wanted to. I like this anchor hocking. No, this is pyrex. Like this one. Let me see if I can turn it around. And it says, "Happy holidays from our family to yours." So I'll use that one again also. And I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. I know it's probably really cool in some of your areas, and so y'all stay warm. And I will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on ARTitude Adjustment. Just remember, it's fun art, not fine art. Y'all have a great evening, and it's a great day to have a great day. Bye-bye now.